They're taking the spits down there.
I mean the plane's on, but there's no one on the corner at the minute. That's no problem, people know that way. People coming down. Up in November, Fox, right, Kemble information, good morning. We are using 26 left-hand security 990 millibars, and just got the Lancaster east to the field running in.
So this is going to be a run, break and land. You can see no wheels, so we just hope that they've not forgotten to put the wheels down, but normally a run, break and landing, standard military approach. And I'm going to shut up and you just listen to this.
Roger, Lancaster downwind, 26 left. Lancaster, this is final to land, Ava. Roger, can land runway 26 on discretion 25017. Non-label station, Lancaster. Roger, runway will be occupied. Cover. That's the Lancaster landing, we're doing a little around them. Alpha November, Foxtrot, Mike, Kemble information. Yeah, just what's your position? 4 miles to the south, it's just past the south.
So Lancaster on short finals, ladies and gentlemen. When she comes past, you can give her a great big wave. The pilot and the first officer obviously will be busy, but all the other guys will be waving at you from the various turrets and windows. Jet Provost there, hurtling around behind her, looking for a landing as well, so that will be the next thing to land, Jet Provost. Give the guys a wave as they come past. Wonderful, wonderful aeroplane. We're hoping to get the Spitfire and the Hurricane from the rest of the Battle of Britain Memorial flight. Battle of Britain Memorial flight actually operating out of Cotswold Airport for the rest of the weekend. So you'll see it going up and down quite a bit. There you are. The two flying in the world, and we're lucky to have one of them. Beautiful, beautiful aircraft. And a wonderful sound. Equally as evocative as a Spitfire, and as most of you will know, use the same engines as a Spitfire. There you go, down safely, only using half the runway. And there you go.
Yeah, so take second right now, off the road again, re-enter. Yeah, no, it's fine, you can do that. Step over to address 4018, and we'll provide it. Yeah, there is. Is there a aircraft in Bank Kemble taking full time? Roger.
Doesn't take much to make a commentator look stupid. He's got his wheels down, so it's going to be a landing off of this one. So Jeff Provost to land, and I've got some very, very interesting news for you after that. You're all going to want to run away with your cameras and get a shot. No, I haven't won the lottery. We just got some information now from Air Tragic that it's going to be 2 Spitfires instead of the Spitfire and the Hurricane. There's a bit of crosswindery wheeled out of the hangar behind us. It's a Mark 5, it's an Australian Spitfire, it's never been seen or flown in this country. It's here for restoration to flying condition. It's not been seen in this country since World War II when it was built. It's in SEAC markings, so that's something new as well. It's coming out of the hangar behind the tower. So if you want a photograph of that, now's the time to go and get it. You'll see it being towed in. It won't be flying, it's not a flying...
Huh?
It's dangerous, isn't it?
What?
What you just said?
No.
With the wind.
He'll be alright.
Kemble 184 vacate right, but not traffic.
Ooh.
Welcome next, vacate right.
Fingers crossed.
flying program until then. Arrivals, we've got at least 9 photographs coming in. We've got the guiding line. Photograph exploding. We've got side stripping, bouncing around in this wind. Targets to come in, 2 spotlights to come in, 1 to come in.
Right. Are we hungry yet?
Let's get that Australian
Should we go and find a toilet?
out the back of the tower.
Have a drink
Now
or
it's trying to
something.
get photographs of it.
Go find a loo.
Mark 5, where Australians sit, singing
I think it's coming.
the war. And it seems to react. We're having a wonderful display of models. Our radio controlled model guys are all out the front of the commentary box getting ready. The 2 wing walking steermen of Breitling can see a very nice, very large Bronco 788-66. Last year the competition was won by a guy and his girlfriend from Bristol. And they had a fantastic time out there with us. They chose the ballooning holiday, and we managed to get them 4 or 5 flights, breakfast with the balloonists, and they were in tears at the end of the show because they had such a fantastic time. So why not give it a go? Text the word air and your answer. In this country, for a flight in formation with a Spitfire from your main charity, Fly to Help. Very shortly we're going to see if we can find our proper airshow commentator, Andy Palsy, who's out there with the guys with the radio controlled models. It looks like we're going to have the Mosquito and the Avro Anson first, and but bear with us, of course this wind affects everything flying from birds up to and including 747s, so the wind may affect our operations. But anyway, stand by for Andy Palsy.
Continue your discretion, the service 240 degrees 21.
Yep.
2nd November, it might be helpful if you could stop there and then vacate the line.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. A very warm, if blustery welcome to the Battle of Britain Air Show here at Kemble. And we're just about to start flying. If you look out in front of you, away to the right-hand side, you'll see the first aircraft lined up, ready to take off and display for you. The first aircraft built by AV Rowe. And we will have a display a little bit later from another aircraft built by AV Rowe. So straight in the air, straight into display. This is of course the Avro Anson. Now this model is 1/5 full size, and that gives the aircraft a wingspan of just over 13 feet. On board is one pilot and in fact 2 students. The Anson took the air for the first time back in 1935. Soon then entered service with the Royal Air Force and actually stayed in service right up till 1960. And the undercarriage So now we have some formation work. The Avro Anson chasing down the de Havilland Mosquito, of course. One of the great aircraft designs from the Second World War. Built as a private venture initially by de Havilland. The aircraft was soon adopted by the Royal Air Force. Used a variety of roles. Perhaps best known for its work with the Pathfinder Force, marking targets for Bomber Command, Lancasters and Halifaxes. So the Anson is now geared out. And how about that, ladies and gentlemen? Can we have a big round of applause for the Avro Anson? Beautifully flown display, very tricky conditions. That leaves the sky clear for the Mosquito. And to tell you all about it, here's Gareth.
Thanks, Andy. It's a fairly unmistakable shape, and sadly one that we don't have in a flying display direct to say how much you would love to fly a Mosquito. That's expertly done in this gusty conditions. A big round of applause, please, for the de Havilland Mosquito.
Well, yes indeed, Gareth, that was a fabulous display, and I think landing with the bomb bay open, I'm not sure that's true. Well, landing a Spitfire, always very challenging. No matter what scale, I think that was just about perfect. Well, we enjoyed that a lot. Great to have the first glimpse of a Spitfire here, the first day of the Battle of Britain Air Show here at the Cotswold Airport. Delayed the model flying programme while we let a full-size aircraft get airborne. The Rapide, pleasure flying today in the Rapide. Indeed, you have two opportunities, two different methods of going flying today. You can fly in this classic transport aircraft, passenger aircraft from the 1930s, or if you fancy something a little more up to date, we are also offering helicopter pleasure flights throughout the day. Now, if you were here for the air show in June, you would have seen the next two models display. Now, how about that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Now, if you have good eyesight, it's also a full-size version. And indeed, on the ground we have three pilots, two for the aircraft, and the third pilot actually operating the wing walkers. They are synchronised in perfect harmony. Wow, I think that's called an arabesque. Is that an arabesque, Gareth? Yeah, I think that's an arabesque. Yes, it's been many years since I've managed to carry out anything approaching that. Now, these models took 5,000 hours to build. Now, 5,000 seems a big number. If you do the maths, if you go home tonight to start building one in your shed or in your garage, so long as you do not eat, sleep, do anything other than build your aircraft, you will have it completed just after Easter next year. So I can hear the pilots talking to each other, calling out the next manoeuvre. This used to be called the Humpty Bump, sometimes called the roller coaster. pull up at the top, push the aircraft down. I can't stress how accurate these models are, even right down to the smoke system. I do love those baby wing walkers. The aircraft.
So it's just been pointed out to me. You can now see what the aircraft looked like before they actually built it. And we're on to, well, this is a new one. What an impressive sight that is. The OV-10, very specialist aircraft. It's designed to fulfill counterinsurgency, forward air control roles. I believe the model has a pneumatic undercarriage system, and we were informed a little bit earlier there's 4 coke bottles involved in that process. I don't know exactly how, but that's very, very ingenious. My first flew on 16th of July 1965. That's fantastic. Went into service first with the US Marine Corps. It was employed by the United States Air Force, United States Navy. A variety of other nations also took the aircraft on, including the Philippines, German Luftwaffe, the Colombian Air Force, NASA even operated an example of the Bronco. It's also used by the Californian Department of Forestry and Fire. It's a perfect spotting aircraft for forest fires as well. Really taking what the aircraft did in a military role over the battlefield, which would have been loitering. I believe the aircraft could loiter for about 3 hours in theatre, spotting targets, and even dropping its own munitions. Incredibly, Bronco wasn't retired from the US Marine Corps service until 1995. She actually served Desert Storm, which is Gulf War I, 1991. And that was the conflict which saw the last losses of the aircraft as well. So the aircraft served great distinction in Vietnam. Long, long career. It is an aircraft you can see displaying occasionally for real in the UK. For example, it operates out of Kidlington, Oxford Airport. And for what it is, let's face it, it's like a bizarre looking aircraft. She's incredibly manoeuvrable. You can see why she was so perfect in that role, as I say. Ladies and gentlemen, downhill to gain some speed, just like the real thing. Wow, fantastic. Next we're going to see a lovely barrel roll, pulling the nose of the aircraft up, forming the outline of the barrel as she rolls around, beautiful flow. The aircraft is also used, and you don't have to trust me on this one, as a parachute platform. Where the parachuters would actually essentially fall out of the back of the aircraft. They wouldn't have to jump. And here we go. This is the Bronco Dean's kite impression. Sitting on the tower, using the wind. I can probably run quicker than that. Absolutely amazing. Power up. by one.
It's okay to jump, and all of the guys obviously will make their own decision. It's Big Al's decision as the team leader whether the display takes place, but obviously each individual decides whether he's got the nerve or not to jump. You'll see on the ground that we do have a crossover there. It is not a target, and that's the reason we've actually placed it between those two barriers. It's to remind the guys that it's not a target for them to land on. We don't want any heroics, we just want them to land in a safe place into wind. Most of them will be feeling the pinch on the aircraft now. They'll be feeling a little bit nervous, especially Pete. This is only his second display, I believe. And fourth display. It's his fourth display, but he'll be a little bit nervous. It's a strange aircraft to get out of. It's a very narrow door, and the guys have to get out in what we call a stable position so that they have a flat platform for the parachute to deploy off their back. Okay, if they don't have that and they end up on their backs, obviously when they're opening their parachute, the parachute's the wrong way up, and it tends to cause problems when it flips you over the other way. Okay, it's not a major disaster. We do have in all of our equipment a reserve parachute for if things go horribly wrong, and we also have little computers in there that detect speed and altitude. So if for any reason they decide they're loving the free fall a little bit too much and don't want to open a parachute, that little automatic activation device will automatically fire their reserve parachutes. So they're going to get one whether they like it or not. Okay, and as you can see, I totally missed that. They're actually out of the aircraft. There's 1, 2, you can see some smokes there. So there's 1, 2, a parachute is out. And you'll see that Lisa's actually thrown some smoke on the ground to give them an indication as well. The sun's in my eyes, so I can't see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. We've got 5 parachutists and we've got 5 working canopies. My heart was going a little bit then. Sorry about it. That's just so that you guys can see them when they're at a higher altitude. It is sometimes difficult to spot them in the sky, and it also helps me to spot them because I am blind as a bat and I totally miss it. Oh well. Okay, what they're doing now is they call it what they call a stack. The first man out obviously would have been either Pete being the largest or would have been Big Al. And what they try to do is they try to form a stack so they all come down in an orderly queue and don't intrude on each other's airspace. That's the theory anyway. Okay, the winds are very strong today, so what they'll be doing now is holding that into wind and trying not to be blown too far off course. They'll be trying to stay in the wind cone and on the wind line. Okay, first guy that's coming down looks like he's on fire, but it's just his smoke, and that's going to be Big Al on the green, yellow and white canopy. Okay, do his last turn into wind now. And that's Big Al, ladies and gentlemen. Next guy we have is Martin Rhodes. Martin's a local mechanic. And he was also on his feet, being dragged a little bit, but well done. Okay, and next we have is Glyn Summers. Oh, sorry. Look out the microphone. Okay, as you can tell, the winds are a little bit strong once they hit the ground. Okay, and the next person down we have is Pete Price. I'd say a local fire officer there. Okay, most junior member of the team, so biggest round of applause for him, please. Well done to Pete. And then the last gentleman down is Mr. Ralph Weatherburn, and he's working in IT and being blown slightly backwards there by the looks of it. Okay, and he's also on his feet. So we have nobody land on their bottoms this time, which is quite disappointing. I do like to have a little laugh. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Renegades parachute display team.
Thank you very much. What a wonderful commentary and a wonderful descent in very, very tricky conditions. Not bad at all. 5 o'clock. Time flies when you're having fun. Just after 3 o'clock, John Beattie in the Chipmunk. Very distinctive markings on that Chipmunk. If you've had a look, located in the aircraft park behind the crowd line. And we were hoping for 2 I was going to call them tripounds, their nickname, the triplanes, no weather problems at the moment, still a couple, at the moment.
Roger. Yeah,
What are you going to see it turn around, come back and straight at you? Where is it going? Up the grass runway?
Another plane moving down there. But usually the long faster flies with a Spitfire.
But it doesn't sound
So
as
you
nice
can't
as
tell
the
this
doesn't it?
Two examples of R.J. Mitchell's iconic aircraft. This is, of course, the Spitfire.
Be on top. Chip okay, Sam. Roger, cover the aircraft on the runway, land your discretion, 250 degrees, 17 knots. Spitfire 2, when able, lazy 18. So you can vacate right and then follow the triangle round to the left. Wait. That's right, Roger, you want to start approved request POB? 5 POB, ready. Roger, 26 left hand, QFE 1989 millibars. 989 millibars, ready one. Spitfire 1, when able, lazy 180, please. Affirm, enter backtrack and follow number 1. Roger, okay.
So the Spitfire away to your left-hand side. MK356. Mark 9. Need to be precise. Mark 9E. Currently wearing the colours of number 601, County of London Squadron. The aircraft of Flight Lieutenant Desmond Ibbotson, DFC. Silver paint scheme used during late night. The second Spitfire is a Mark 19 photo reconnaissance. The engine is the Griffon, Rolls-Royce Griffon, compared to the Rolls-Royce Merlin, of course, and the Mark 9. The Mark 19s were unarmed. Photo reconnaissance aircraft, relying on speed and altitude to keep them out of harm's way, carrying out the vital task both before and after raids. Saw the AN2 landing a little bit earlier and thought, well, I'm going to have a go at that. I think you can. Wing waggle. We have de Havilland aircraft everywhere at the moment.
I'm glad it's coming home these days.
Check both Roger, caution for taxi and Tiger Moth. Nice display, thank you very much.
Well, a really fine display by John Beattie and the Chipmunk. I think we're all revelling in this sight away to the left-hand side.
Caution the right-hand tiger button, puppy tiger 3. You're not actually on the grass runway. Roger, yeah, we were worried about the signs by the commentary point. Roger.
Come behind me, Pat.
Huh?
Come behind me, you get mine. Or around the tent.
Hey?
Or in the tent.
So just as the tiger moths line up, I'd just like to say a few words that we're going to dedicate this take-off and display to the memory of Pete Thorne. Pete, very much big member of the team here at Cotswold Airport for many years. Unfortunately, passed away just a few days ago. Much loved, much missed by us all. I'm sure you'd enjoy the sight and sound of the Tiger 9 formation. So we are going to dedicate this display to our friend Pete Thorne.
Take off your discretion, the subject 250 degrees 21 knots. Rolling, okay.
Hello, look, do you see?
Plans or blueprints for the first Tiger Moth. It just all sort of happened on a trial and error basis when the RAF requested that de Havilland should alter their successful Gypsy Moth aircraft so that in an emergency RAF pilots wearing parachutes could leave the front cockpit without difficulty. So you have them took the Gypsy Moth, they staggered the wings, top wing positioned further forward than the bottom wing, The wings were then swept back in order to keep the centre of gravity within acceptable limits. But then that also meant that the wingtips were very close to the ground and likely to snag when taxiing over rough surfaces. So the lower wing was altered so that the ends curved up slightly, producing the dihedral shape. Result, DH-82 Tiger Moth. First flight, 26th of October 1931. More than 1,500 were delivered before the start of the Second World War. Subsequently, around 4,000 were built in the UK, with an additional 3,000 in Canada, Australia, New Zealand. So now the team move into their 9-ship box formation. So now look directly in front of you for the remaining 7 aircraft of the team. Positioning now for the bomb bursts. aircraft. 18 wings together, they are the Diamond, correct, the Tiger 9 formation. Tiger lead, Jeff Milson. Number 2, Peter Beness. Number 3 is Mike Vasey. Number 4, Jonathan Turnbull. Next is Len Mitten. Followed by Dave Wiltridge. Then Robin Russell. Jerry Rendell. Bring her up the rear is Nigel Levin.
Andy, I haven't seen the Tigers do a formation like that for quite a long time. You hark back to what was the other team that you mentioned?
Check 250.
Diamond 9?
The Diamond 9, yes.
Diamond 9.
Yes.
Well, probably a lot of these aircraft were in the Diamond 9. Probably some of the pilots weren't even born. But that's fantastic. Good value. In fact, the Tiger Moth actually started the agricultural flying industry back in New Zealand and Australia at the end of the war, and all those tigers were basically lying around doing nothing. They started using them as crop sprayers, putting out top dressing on the hills of New Zealand, which started the industry of crop spraying and top dressing out there. Well, we've got a bit of time while we're talking about New Zealand. Why not get your phones out and have a crack at our fantastic competition? We can take two of you from here today to the trip of a lifetime. 2 return airfares to New Zealand, car hire and accommodation for 2 weeks, of Gold Pass VIP tickets to the fabulous Warbirds over Wanaka Air Show, a flight over the spectacular Lake Wanaka in a Catalina seaplane, and a unique private flightline walk and photo opportunity. Now, we were talking earlier on, Andy, about the radio controlled models, and you had an Anson there, and you had a Mosquito. Well, in fact, the Mosquito is actually being restored in New Zealand, not Australia, and should be at Warbirds over Wanaka. So there's another reason to come over and have a go at the competition. Now, all you have to do is answer the following question: what made the first man flight? A hot air balloon, or B, an aeroplane. And you text the word air and you'll answer A or B to 78866. That's 78866, 78866. Each entry will cost you £3 plus one standard text charge. For such a fantastic prize, it's well worth giving it a go. So enter our competition. Come with us to New Zealand, have the trip of a lifetime, and see the Mosquito fly. And they've also just finished restoring an Avro Anson by coincidence, and that'll be there as well, along with a lot of other airplanes that you won't see this side of the world for a long time. In fact, I don't think you're going to see the Mosquito. It's scheduled to go to America and probably stay.
But to be honest, I'm just really glad to see that aircraft out there. This is so much of what today is all about. The first day of the Battle of Britain Air Show here at the Cotswold Airport. This will not be the last item we had on the flying programme for you this afternoon. So I'm sure for many of you this is what you came to see. So now running in on the left hand side is of course the mighty Avro Lancaster. Designed by Roy Chadwick at Rose Chadington factory in Manchester. The RAF's finest wartime bomber. That bomb bay we saw in that class, incredible 33 feet long. The aircraft accommodated a range of bomb sizes and numbers up to the biggest conventional bomb ever made, 22,000 pounds. Crews had to fly 30 missions to complete a tour. In 1943, the life expectancy of a crew was just 7 missions. After completing a tour, crews could be posted to other, less daunting posts, most selected to fly another tour of operations. Bomber Command flew 400,000 sorties throughout the second.
Eagle Bravo X-ray, full Charlie Kemble information, how do you pass your message?
Royal Air Force Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, the Lancaster bomber, lest we forget.
Roger, report final with the gear service wind 250 degrees, 22 knots. So welcome back. Very nice to stay. Thank you very much. I'm ready. 180.
Well, after that fine display, we're now going to be treated to the Lancaster backtracking. Good opportunity to look at the markings on the aircraft. This is of course Papa Alpha 474. Currently wears the markings of aircraft Echo 139. It's the Phantom Roar. You can see the artwork on the side of the nose as the aircraft taxi past you. This is one of the few Lancasters that completed over 100 missions during the Second World War. Including the first 30 operations with the 100 Squadron, before completing a further 91 operations with 550 Squadron. So she wears two colour schemes. The port side facing me now, Hotel Romeo Whiskey, number 100 Squadron. Far side, Bravo. Indeed, these airplanes are 48 RF4s, powered gliders. I'm using the term powered very loosely here. Each engine rated at just 39 horsepower. In fact, they are VW Beetle engines. Two very experienced pilots. Matthew flew with the team.
Well, we were talking earlier on about the flying club competition for a trial flight, and we have a winner. So, Mr. Richard Kidd, if you're still here, Richard Kidd, you have won yourself a trial flight with Kemble Flying Club. Thankfully, you don't have to take it today.
Roger says he's going to.
You wouldn't tell us what's going on outside because it's all steamed up in here.
I do hope James managed to do the wrong back in, otherwise he would be big now. Yeah, that's true.
This is energy management of a different nature, isn't it? This is going to be a slow, I think, and slower.
Slow and slow. I mean, statement.
Probably sounds nicer now James is flying, isn't it?
I was just about to say that.
James knows a bit of Russian, so he probably gets a bit more out of it.
I think this counts as a fast pass by the Antonov.
Yeah, fast downwind pass. which is quite stunning. This is a sort of a flat turn but a six. He's in high alpha, slow flight, holding it back against the stick, balancing his control inputs against the throttle. A truly astounding piece of flying by James Black. So remember, if you've got a PPL, you can go and be taught to do that as well. Like James. But I think you'd want to do it in anything other than an Antonov. Ridiculous flying, I would think. No, it's very, very tricky to do what he's done, and even the rest of the crew are standing in awe. For a very, very slow, short landing, touching down. And I think he deserves another big wave as he comes by. Superb, absolutely wonderful. James Black.
Fantastic scheme she's wearing. dropped off into existence as a result of his display flying. Neil is now one of the highest powered jockey pilots, despite essentially being PPL. Neil has no Neil McCarthy, Jack Roberts, Steve Brew.
Welcome back, great display, thanks very much. I'm ready, Dave 180, vacate Alpha 340. Any other things?
Away. I think in a minute or two, that goes into the
We will very shortly, but there's something Gav actually going on that I don't think I've ever seen before in my many years on the airfield circuit. The mark of total respect and adoration for these modelers, we've actually got one of our display slots is now going to be taken over by the modelers. Now I've never seen that before. It's always been the modelers have done their thing before the show starts, but now we're going to put these guys into the show in a display slot in their own right. So Andy, take it away.
Only cheap models to make.
So the team now coming round,
They're building them up again next week.
preparing to pull up. Pulling up now into a loop. The wing walkers on each aircraft on one of these specially made gimballing mounts. The wing walkers are now inverted on their side.
Look at that. Oh, is that fantastic?
Each one of these model aircraft took 5,000 hours to build. That is a lot of dedication, a lot of effort. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
I'm going to get the helicopter.
Number 2 safely down, little Humpty Bump. Very short finals there.